Level 1. Shame. Based on the model for psychological and mental states of David R. Hawkins, shame is the absolute bottom of human consciousness, where everything feels utterly hopeless. People at this level are overwhelmed by feelings of humiliation and self-loathing, which can lead them to believe that life is not worth living. It's as if their whole existence is defined by this unbearable burden, making their view of life miserable. At this level, you are trapped in a cycle of self-hatred, and it's so dark that it can either push someone toward contemplating the end of their life or drive them to destructive behavior. It's just one step away from giving up completely. Level 2. Guilt is a step up from shame, but it still feels heavy, like carrying the weight of all your past mistakes on your shoulders. Here you're stuck in a cycle of self-blame, constantly thinking of yourself as a sinner, unable to forgive yourself for what you've done. It's the feeling that no matter how hard you try, you're never good enough because of your past actions. Thoughts of self-harm can linger as guilt traps you in a mindset where you view the world as evil and your role in it is marked by wrongdoing. Blame becomes your default emotional state, and escaping this spiral feels almost impossible. Level 3. Apathy. This is where you feel utterly drained of hope, like you're powerless to change anything. It's that deep sense of learned helplessness where life feels like it's happening to you, not for you. Many people stuck in this state feel like victims of their circumstances, overwhelmed by despair. It's common to feel like there's no way out, leading to a withdrawal from life altogether. At this level, some homeless individuals find themselves trapped, unable to see any path forward. Your view of life is bleak, and if you believe in a higher power, you might find yourself condemning it, as if even God has abandoned you. It's a place where you don't take any responsibility for your own future. Level 4. Grief is a state of constant sadness and a deep sense of loss. You might find yourself here after losing someone close to you or going through a painful experience, often leading to depression. In this stage, your main emotion is regret, and you see life as tragic and unfair. You view God, if you believe in one, with disdain, like he has let you down. You're feeling extremely low and hopeless, but unlike apathy, you're at least beginning to feel something again, slowly pulling yourself out of complete numbness and climbing the ladder of consciousness. Level 5. Fear. This is where you see the world as a scary and unsafe place. You're constantly anxious and on edge, often stuck in a state of paranoia. People at this stage may feel trapped, like in an abusive relationship or a toxic environment, and they usually need help to break free, just like in the lower tiers we covered already. The main feeling here is anxiety, and life feels constantly frightening. The process you're going through is withdrawal, meaning you're pulling away from things because you're scared of what might happen. Level 6. Desire. This is where craving takes over. It's not about healthy ambition or setting goals, but an endless hunger for stuff like money, approval, power, or fame. This is where addictions come into play. Smoking, drinking, drugs, and a constant need for more material things. You're driven by wanting more and more, but never truly satisfied. A vicious cycle that can drag you down big time. Your main emotion here is longing, and life feels like it keeps letting you down. You also deny anything higher, like a greater purpose, and the process you're stuck in is enslavement, where your desires control you instead of the other way around. Level 7. Anger. On this tier of consciousness, frustration takes the spotlight, often stemming from unmet desires from the previous level. At this stage, anger can either motivate you to rise to higher levels of consciousness or trap you in a cycle of hatred. In abusive relationships, it's common to see someone grappling with anger paired with someone feeling fear. Here, the main feeling you experience is hate, and life feels like a constant battle. If you believe in God, you might see him as someone who seeks revenge on you. You're stuck in a cycle of aggression where anger and hostility take over. It's like you're constantly arguing with someone, and instead of finding a solution, you just keep butting heads. Level 8. Pride. This is the first level where you start to feel a sense of worth and might actually feel good. But all that is built on a shaky ground. Being proud of yourself is not a bad thing, on the contrary, but this is an excessive, arrogant love of your own excellence. Plus, your prideful self-esteem relies on outside factors like money, status, or approval, which makes it fragile. This mindset can lead to extreme behaviors like racism, bullying, immoral stuff, classism, or even religious wars. It can create divisions, making people feel hostile or dismissive toward others who don't share their views. It's a place where you're in denial about your shortcomings, becoming defensive about your beliefs. If someone challenges your views, it feels like a personal attack. Your main emotion here is scorn, and you feel like some things are just unworthy of your consideration or respect. You're caught in a process of inflation where your ego gets puffed up, but it could burst at any minute. Level 9. Courage. This chapter marks a significant turning point on your journey. It's the first level where you truly feel strong and empowered. It acts as the gateway to everything that follows. Because instead of feeling overwhelmed, you start to see life as a series of challenges and exciting opportunities. Reason and integrity become your guiding principles now. You might not yet recognize it as personal growth, but you begin to seek improvement through things like skill building, advancing your career, or pursuing education. Your emotional state here is one of affirmation, where you start to feel good about yourself and your capabilities. Life feels more feasible, and you begin to see God, if you believe in one, as someone who allows you to navigate your journey. You begin to actively take charge of your life and decisions, while seeing the future as an improvement upon your past rather than a continuation of the same. Level 10. Neutrality. This level is all about taking life as it comes, with the mindset of live and let live. You're flexible, laid back, and don't feel the need to prove anything to anyone. Whatever happens, you just go with the flow. This level is comfortable and easygoing, and many self-employed people find themselves here in a state where you feel secure and get along well with others. But it can also lead to complacency and laziness. You're handling your needs, but you're not really pushing yourself to go beyond that. Your predominant emotional state here is trust, seeing life as satisfactory and manageable. You view God as someone who enables you to go about your life freely if you're a believer. Release is your defining process, where you let go of unnecessary stress and just let things be.